Hi Pisces, I hope you're doing well. Pisces, this is going to be a general reading for you, so there are no dates on these readings. Whenever the message finds you, if it resonates at that time, then it's good to go. If you feel the need to swap and reverse the perspective of the storyline, then please feel free to do that. It's just easier for me to interpret it as if I'm viewing it from one side, so if you're resonating much more with the side that I'm saying is not the Pisces, then that's fine. You just swap it however you need. And then also, please don't try and force the message to fit Pisces. If a message is for you, then you will know. So don't try and force it, because if you do that, sometimes you can end up getting misinformation and then applying it to situations that you shouldn't be doing so. So please just put all the information through your intuition and make sure that you're only taking the message if it truly resonates to something that you are going through right now, or something that fits your situation. Okay, so without further ado, Pisces, we will get started. So Pisces, I'm having to be a little bit quieter today just because a lot of my housemates are in and they're all sat in the living room, so I do apologise. Hopefully you can still hear me though. Okay, so Pisces. Frog Pisces. Okay, so one thing that we know about Pisceans is that they are such an energetic sponge for their environment, right? Pisces are so sensitive to whatever is going on in their external environment that they tend to take on other people's emotions, or they tend to confuse their own emotions or their own state of being with someone else's in the room. Okay, they're very empathetic in that sense. Okay, so with the frog coming up, you see how all this like water is pouring down on the frog. It feels like as of late, something about Pisces' external environment is starting to become too much. It's being absorbed too heavily into the Pisces. It's almost like all of your pores are just completely open to anything that is swimming around in the environment right now, and that might be something that you're very consciously aware of, or it might be something that you actually are you're not privy to it. You're just kind of subconsciously taking on other people's stresses, other people's anxieties, and not really realizing just how much it's affecting you. So one good example that I can give right now, I know I said that this is not date specific, and it's not, but just as a sort of a metaphor or an analogy right now that I can kind of relate this to, it would be, obviously right now we're going through what we're going through in the world. I'm not going to say it, we all know what's happening right now, and it is very, very easy to absorb a lot of the negativity, a lot of the fear, and a lot of the chaotic energy that's being put out on the media right now. Okay, so taking that example, a Piscean, or just anyone in general who's very, very sensitive to that kind of thing, needs to be very, very consciously aware of what they are allowing into their aura at the minute, what they're allowing into their mind space. You need to be very, very conscious, Pisces, that whatever this relates to, this absorbing of all this water, right? Water is emotion, so it feels like it's an emotional absorption that you're taking on, i.e., other people's emotions, other people's fear, other people's anger, other people's just negativity. You know, it could be that there's just, you're in a toxic work environment where you're just starting to absorb the toxicity from it. There's a lot of Chinese whispers, or a lot of bitchiness, just speaking behind people's back. That's just another example. But there's something about something that's external to the fish, to the Pisces right now, that the Pisces is taking on way too much, and is starting to feel like it's overloading them. It's starting to feel almost like you're drowning a little bit. And I mean, we've got the frog here, so the frog is a water animal, right? It moves between water and earth. So An evolved Pisces is very, very good at being consciously aware of, okay, this is my energy that I'm feeling, these are my emotions, this is my energetic attachment to a situation, or okay, this is what other people are feeling in my environment, this is what's going on in the wider world at the minute, okay? Especially a Pisces who taps into the collective. So if you know you're do intuitive reading, or you work in the sort of metaphysical realm, if you work with energy, it's very, very easy to take on that energy and not transmute it and let go of it when you're finished with it. I.e., if you have like clients, for example, say if you're a tarot reader, or you do anything in that line of work, it's very, very easy for someone like that to just completely absorb it, to hold on to it, and to not properly transmute it and let it go. So it feels like, even though as a Piscean this is a realm that you're very, very attuned to, this is a realm that you very easily move around in, you're very accustomed to, this is your world, Pisces, this is the world that you're probably the most comfortable in, the realm of emotions, the realm of water, it feels like it's getting too much as of late. So I can kind of relate to this. So what I've been doing recently, again, if we just kind of go back to what's happening externally in the world right now, as I said, this isn't date specific, but I'm just going to relate it to my personal situation right now, just so you can get a comparison. I was doing the same. I was watching too much of the news recently, and I was on social media platforms that were just breeding a lot of fear, breeding a lot of stress. And there was maybe a couple of weeks when I was really keeping up to date with it. And I just noticed a massive drop in my energy. Like, I was so tired all the time. I was just needing to sleep. It was hard not to just wake up nervous or stressed about the day, or just what was going on in the external wider environment. So I've removed myself from all those platforms now, and I spent a lot more time reading. I've really invested my time in books as of late, because then at least I'm controlling the content and the wisdom that I'm taking in, okay? Because with a book, you can, you pick a book on a subject, and then you can, you just focus on that sole subject. Whereas when you're spending a lot of time scrolling on social media, you never know what's going to pop up on your news feed. So it's very, very easy to end up looking at something that you don't necessarily want to look at, because it's got a catchy headline, or there's something in it that evokes like, oh God, I should probably know about that. Okay, so that's just one example. So the advice at the moment, before we move on with the rest of the reading, is Pisces, you need to just be consciously aware of what is your own, what is others. One thing that I've told people in my circle before that I do, and I found that it has helped some people, is, say if you're going about your day and you're feeling perfectly fine, you're feeling like, yeah, I'm having a good day, and then something happens, and suddenly there's a massive energetic shift, and you can't pinpoint what it is. Like, nothing necessarily has happened in your day to make you feel nervous or anxious or depressed or sad, but just suddenly you've kind of walked into somewhere, or you've passed someone, and you just feel that kind of like shift, right? Always ask yourself, is this mine? Is this theirs? Is this external? Okay, is this mine, i.e., is this something that is stemming from a personal trigger of mine, something that I've got going on in my life right now, something that I feel emotionally attached to? Is this theirs? Have I just empathetically picked up on how someone else is feeling in my external environment? Even walking past someone, right? If you walk close enough, your auras are passing it, right? And if you're sensitive enough, you can pick up generally, even if you're not trying to tune in, generally how that person's feeling. Or if the person is outputting a lot of negative energy, for example, they've had a really bad day or something really bad's happened, you will pick up on that. So just ask yourself, is this mine? Is this theirs? And then the third one is ask, is this external? Is this the wider environment? Is there something going on in the collective right now that I am picking up on, i.e., what's going on in the world right now? Or say if you live in a part of the world where there's a great political stress, if there's something going on in that sense, or you're very close to war-torn countries, or something like that. And then also to be conscious of what's happening in the astrological movements right now, okay? Because they do exert an intense pull on how we feel and how we go about our day-to-day lives, okay? So just remember those three questions. Is it mine? Sorry, I just saw a really bright light in the corner of my eye. Got well distracted then. Is this mine? Is this theirs? Is this external? Okay, so let's pull another card because that was 10 minutes on just one card. I'm a little froggy. I really wish that the camera would focus because they're really pretty cards, but hopefully soon enough I'll get a better camera and then my cards will actually focus for you so you can see the detail on them. Okay, Pisces. Okay, so we had the fairy who was kissed by pixies. Okay, so this came out reversed. Now this is the card of pretty much unconditional love. It's the card of feeling loved by those around you, whether it be friends, family, peers, co-workers. Okay, because when we see the card upright, sorry, I know it doesn't focus, but you can see this fairy that's in the middle, and she's just absolutely gushing because there's all these other individuals that are sitting around her, and they are sending her so much good energy, so much praise, so much admiration, and she's feeling that, right? She's taking it all on, and because of that she's just absolutely glowing. But this came up reversed. So this is what I was saying about there's something in this external environment, and I'm taking these sort of watershed droplets here as other people's sort of energy that is being outputted or aimed or directed towards you, Pisces. There's something that isn't pleasant about it, or there's a feeling of a lack of support. There's a lack of support for the Pisces. There's a lack of camaraderie. That's what I'm hearing. Like there's a lack of camaraderie. There's a lack of support in the external environment, and Pisces is very much feeling that. And Pisces, you're a sensitive creature. Okay, we all know that. Very, very sensitive. Very, very gentle. So if you're in an environment that you don't feel held and you don't feel supported in, a Pisces will not flourish. A Pisces needs to feel safe, right? It needs the feeling of warm water around it. It's so sensitive to water because you're the fish, right? You're so sensitive to people's energy, people's emotions. It needs to be warm, it needs to be comforting, it needs to be nurturing. And if a Pisces is in an environment like that, a Pisces will absolutely flourish and will absolutely just glow, right? Glow, which is what I was saying before. There's something about your environment or your situation right now. It could be your household, it could be work, it could be friendship. You just apply it however it relates. But you're not feeling supported, you're not feeling nurtured, you're not feeling held. So I'm going to get a bit more on that. The fairy godmother. 1 second, Pisces. Okay, so when I'm looking at the fairy godmother, Pisces, the fairy godmother always comes in as an authority figure or a figurehead in some situation that is very, very soft, very gentle, very nurturing, all the things that we were just talking about that Pisces needs to flourish. Okay, but I'm being really drawn to these two kind of figures here at the side, right? And it's interesting that there's 3 figures on this, because before, when I was doing the shuffling, I was looking at the number on this card and it's 2 and 1, and I was thinking 3, so I was thinking, okay, perhaps this is to do with 3 other individuals outside the Pisces. So it's getting very, very specific now. But I'm being really, really drawn to those 2 figures at the side of her, and there's something about those that is making me feel uncomfortable, and that's what's making the Pisces feel uncomfortable. So I feel like this almost feels like a work environment, I want to say, or some type of business environment where this fairy godmother here is almost like rooting for the Pisces, is very, very supportive, believes in the Pisces abilities, believes in that the Pisces is the right person for the job, that the Pisces can do this, the Pisces is perfectly capable. But there's like these 2 little figures on the side here. I don't know, Pisces, if this is your own like okay. So these two individuals are sort of like the angel and the devil on the shoulder, right? But that's being reflected in your environment. So there's some people in your external environment that are knocking your confidence. They're making you feel like you're being a bit ridiculous, you're stepping out of your comfort zone, you're getting a bit too big for your boots, maybe, or believing in yourself too much, right? And then because Pisces is feeling that, because Pisces is so incredibly sensitive to it, that's starting to seep into the Pisces subconscious, and then you're starting to get that kind of like duality in your own mind. You're starting to get that angel and the devil. You're starting to get one side of your brain that's like, you're fit for the job, Pisces, you're perfectly capable, believe in yourself, you can do this, you've got all the tools necessary. And then you've got the other side of you that's like, oh, hang on, but these people are saying that, or they might not be saying it directly to you, but they're certainly making you feel like you're not capable of doing it. Okay, so it could be a work environment, it could be lack of support from friends or family in something that you're trying to do, an endeavor maybe that you're trying to take on. Apply it however it fits. But it's causing this kind of a split, right? And it's like there's you in the middle, then there's the devil, there's the angel. You're just trying to keep your balance as best as you can, but the external environment is not helping you and it's not supporting you. However, I do want to draw your attention to this person here, right? So again, this almost represents like you, Pisces. It's almost like you in your absolute power. You're perfectly capable of doing whatever you put your mind to. You're perfectly capable of achieving anything that you put your hard work into. So if this is just an individual battle that you're sort of fighting, then the fairy godmother is like higher than the queen, right? She's like at the goddess level. Okay, she is almost like omnipotent. Is that the word? But it's not a king, it's not a queen, it's not a priestess. She's outside of that, all right? She's external from all of that. She literally has everything in her arsenal to manifest whatever she wants, right? Because she's the fairy godmother, okay? So she is like the goddess of manifestation, the goddess of magic, a fairy godmother. She grants 3 wishes, right? Okay, the number 3 is becoming really significant in this reading, so perhaps maybe go and search the numerology of number 3, and also keep an eye out for any 3s that are repeating in your environment, because that is definitely a sign that you're being very supported right now. But she's the queen manifester. She's got the magic wand. She can make any of her wishes come true. So they're almost saying like, this is you, right? You're not these 2 individuals here. You're not what these people are talking about, or what they're saying, or how they're making you feel if it's external from you. Okay, you are perfectly capable of doing anything that you put your mind to, and that's what you need to believe in. And Pisces have a very hard time doing that, okay, because Pisces are very submissive, right? They don't necessarily like to be at the forefront. Okay, they don't necessarily like to have all eyes on them. However, a Pisces is actually an incredibly wise individual when they really tune into their magic and they hone in on their gifts. So it's almost like you need to start believing in yourself now. Don't take on any of the external stresses. Just very, very much remove yourself from that. Be very conscious of when you're being an energetic sponge, Pisces, to make sure that you're not taking on other people's depleted or dilapidated energy, okay? Just remove yourself from that completely. Just remove yourself from it. Don't take it on. Don't absorb it. Don't take notice of anything that anyone's saying if it is negative. Just completely focus on yourself, focus on your own self-development. And if this is representing, a very supportive system, but there's just a few individuals that aren't necessarily making you feel welcome, or that are negatively impacting your self-worth, then maybe just consider that maybe it's time to actually leave that environment. Perhaps there is better situations that are waiting for you, better opportunities that might be on the horizon. So just trust that you're being held, Pisces, and just don't have fear of change. Okay, don't have fear of change, don't have fear of moving forward, and don't have fear of ever walking away from something that you don't feel is necessarily conducive to your self-worth, to your self-development, and how you view yourself, all right? Because it's so important. At the end of the day, the only thing that we have throughout our entire lives is ourselves, and therefore we have to be the person that gives ourselves the source of love that we need in order to grow and develop and evolve in the way that we can reach our highest potential. So I hope that made sense, Pisces. There was a few kind of specific things in there for some people watching. Obviously, it is general reading, so there's going to be lots of different things that come through. But it seems like the general kind of theme of the reading for most of the collective Pisces out there is very much self-worth, not taking on external stresses, and just very much learning how to control your empathetic abilities. Okay, so I hope that resonated, Pisces. I hope that you enjoyed the reading. Hopefully if there wasn't something in there for you, then there will be in the next one. But Pisces, please take care, stay safe. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Mwah. Bye, Pisces.